When we think about our dreams, aspirations, and the lives we want to lead, it's easy to imagine these things as existing in a distant future. But the truth is that the future is built on the actions we take right now. Often we get caught up in waiting for the right time when we feel prepared, when we have more resources, or when circumstances align perfectly. This mindset keeps us locked in a holding pattern, constantly preparing but never actually beginning. In reality, the perfect time doesn't exist. Success, growth, and achievement aren't born out of waiting, but rather from action, risk, and the courage to start, even when things feel uncertain or incomplete. The moment we commit to immediate action is the moment we begin to shape our futures, not just through intention, but through deliberate steps forward. Many of us are afraid to start because we're intimidated by the scope of our goals or the possibility of failure. We think, what if I'm not ready, or what if I make mistakes? It's important to remember that every great journey begins with a single step. That step may be small, and it may not be perfect, but it's essential. Taking action is what moves you from a dreamer to a doer. Action separates people who make progress from those who remain stagnant. Each step, no matter how small or imperfect, creates momentum, building confidence and reinforcing the idea that forward motion is possible and real. Immediate action doesn't mean achieving everything overnight. Instead, it means committing to do something right now that propels you closer to your goal. This could be as simple as writing down your plans, reaching out to a mentor, dedicating an hour to skill development, or even making a difficult decision you've been postponing. By taking even a small step today, you're setting a chain of events into motion. You're signaling to yourself and the world that you are ready to create change. The confidence that comes from this one action can create a ripple effect, building over time into the achievement you once thought was too far off. Waiting for the perfect conditions often leads to indecision and paralysis. We tell ourselves that if only we had more experience, more support, or more resources, we could begin. But in reality, most successful people started long before they felt ready. They used what they had, embraced their circumstances, and trusted themselves to figure things out as they went. The secret they understood is this: skills, confidence, and knowledge are developed along the way. By starting with what you have, you give yourself the chance to grow and adapt in real time. As you take action, you encounter challenges that force you to think critically, adapt, and improve. These lessons are invaluable, and they can only be learned by doing, not waiting. Inaction, on the other hand, is the enemy of progress. When we delay our dreams, we're not just putting them on pause, we're often letting them slip further and further away. Each day we wait is a day lost. Opportunities pass, skills go undeveloped, and our motivation begins to fade. Eventually, the dream we once held so close to our hearts starts to feel impossible, simply because we haven't taken the steps to bring it closer. When we look back, we often regret the things we didn't try rather than the mistakes we made. In that way, taking action, even if imperfect, is less risky than not acting at all. It allows you to move forward and to change, even if it means making mistakes or encountering setbacks along the way. Taking immediate action also helps you overcome the fear of failure. The first step is always the hardest, and we tend to build up the difficulty of starting in our minds. Once we take that step, though, we often find that things aren't as daunting as they seemed. By breaking through the initial fear, we build resilience and the mental strength to keep going, even when things get tough. Each challenge we face and overcome builds our confidence and determination, proving to ourselves that we are capable of achieving our goals. Moreover, the path to success is rarely a straight line. It's often filled with twists, turns, and obstacles we didn't anticipate. By starting immediately, you give yourself the gift of time. You have more space to adjust, to learn, and to refine your path along the way. Success, then, is not about arriving perfectly, but about consistently moving forward. Taking action today doesn't guarantee that you'll reach your goal tomorrow, but it does guarantee that you'll be closer than if you did nothing. Each step forward brings you nearer to the life you envision, helping you build the habits, knowledge, and courage necessary to reach your full potential. So instead of waiting for the stars to align, start right now with what you have, right where you are. Set aside the doubts, ignore the excuses, and recognize that the power to create change lies within your reach. The decision to take immediate action may feel intimidating, but it's one of the most liberating choices you can make. It's the choice to seize control of your future, to stop letting time pass you by, and to turn dreams into reality. The time to act is now. Make that choice. Take that step and watch how each small action builds the path to greatness. Dreams are powerful. They inspire, they motivate, and they give us something to work toward. But dreams by themselves don't create change. Talking about our goals is important, but too often that's where people stop. We're caught in a cycle of excitement and wishful thinking without taking concrete steps to bring those dreams to life. Shifting from talking to doing is the essential transformation that turns intentions into reality. It's the difference between someone who envisions greatness and someone who achieves it. Talking will only ever be the beginning. Doing is where the journey actually begins. We all know that talking is easier than taking action. There's a sense of comfort in discussing dreams because it feels productive. When we talk about our goals, we imagine the life we want, and for a moment we experience a piece of that excitement. But talk doesn't cost much. It doesn't stretch us, challenge us, or ask us to commit anything real. Action, on the other hand, requires courage, sacrifice, and persistence. Moving beyond talk demands that we take risks and invest our energy. It's where we go from imagining the finish line to actually stepping onto the track, unsure of the hurdles we'll face but committed to reaching the end. Action is essential because it builds momentum, something talking can never achieve. When you take the first step, no matter how small, you create movement. Action gives life to your ideas, making them tangible and real. That first step might be uncomfortable. It could mean reaching out to someone, learning a new skill, or investing time and resources. But that single act has a way of pushing us forward, propelling us into the next step, and then the next. Before you know it, you're further along the path than you expected, simply because you committed to doing, not just thinking. Taking action also helps break down the overwhelm that big dreams can bring. When a goal feels too big, it's easy to get stuck in the planning phase, telling ourselves we're just figuring things out when in reality we're avoiding the leap. But by breaking things down and taking small, intentional steps, we make progress manageable. Each step shows us that the journey is achievable. We can handle what's right in front of us without getting paralyzed by the bigger picture. The simple act of doing something, anything, towards your dream can shatter the illusion that things need to be perfect or massive to matter. Consistent, small actions accumulate over time and bring you closer to your goal than any amount of talking ever could. Action also brings learning. Every step forward will come with lessons that can't be gained from mere planning. By doing, we learn what works and what doesn't. We get feedback, we adapt, and we improve. This learning process is invaluable and is something you can only experience by stepping out of the comfort of talk and into the reality of doing. Mistakes and setbacks might happen, but each one becomes a stepping stone to success. By taking action, you gain clarity on your path, making the journey not just possible but more purposeful. Action refines our vision, shaping it in real time based on real-world experience. When we stay in the talking phase, we're often looking for approval or encouragement. It's tempting to seek validation from others, sharing our dreams to hear them say, "That's a great idea," or "You'll do amazing things." But true accomplishment doesn't come from others' validation, it comes from your own commitment and follow through. Moving from talking to doing removes the need for constant validation. Instead, you gain confidence from the progress you see. Each action, however small, strengthens your self-belief. When you see yourself taking steps, you prove to yourself that you're capable, independent of anyone else's opinion. This shift from talking to doing also makes you accountable. When you tell people what you plan to do but don't act, those words begin to lose meaning. Over time, this can lead to disappointment in yourself and even a loss of trust from others. But when you follow through on your intentions, you build a reputation, not just in the eyes of others, but most importantly, in your own. You become a person who doesn't just talk about change, you make it happen. This sense of accountability propels you forward, pushing you to uphold the standards you set for yourself. To achieve anything meaningful, you have to shift from the excitement of talk to the discipline of action. That shift is often uncomfortable, as it requires facing uncertainty and letting go of the safety net that talking provides. Yet this step is what separates those who dream from those who accomplish. It's not about taking giant leaps, but about making steady, consistent progress. Taking action is where the journey to success truly begins. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and it doesn't always go according to plan, but it's real. It's transformative. So, if you find yourself talking about a dream, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today to move closer to it, whether it's a phone call, an hour of research, or setting a simple goal? Do something that brings you one step closer. Talking will only take you so far. Action is the fuel that turns dreams into reality. Taking the leap from talk to action is the boldest step you can take for yourself and your future. It's the difference between watching life pass you by and actively shaping the life you want. The time to shift from talking to doing is now. Take the step, make the move, and watch how each action brings you closer to the person you're meant to be. Fear and hesitation are two of the biggest obstacles that hold us back from pursuing our dreams and reaching our full potential. They keep us in a place of comfort and safety, but they also limit what we can achieve. Everyone has goals and aspirations, but not everyone achieves them. What often separates those who succeed from those who don't isn't just talent or resources, but the ability to overcome fear and hesitation and take bold, decisive action. To live a life of purpose and fulfillment, we have to understand fear, learn how to manage it, and ultimately push beyond it. Fear is a natural response to the unknown. It's the mind's way of protecting us from risks and dangers, even if those risks are only perceived. The problem is that our brains often can't distinguish between real threats and imagined ones. This is why we feel afraid of things that can't physically harm us, like failure, rejection, or the judgment of others. These fears may seem trivial, but they are powerful enough to stop us from taking the steps we need to achieve our goals. Fear creates a wall between where we are and where we want to be, convincing us that it's safer to stay put than to risk stepping into the unknown. One of the biggest fears people face is the fear of failure. We worry about not meeting our own expectations or disappointing others. This fear can be paralyzing, leading us to avoid trying altogether rather than risking the possibility of failing. But the reality is that failure is part of the process. Every successful person has experienced failure, often more than once. Failure teaches us lessons that success can't. It reveals our weaknesses and shows us areas where we can improve. Without failure, growth would be impossible. Instead of viewing failure as something to fear, we need to see it as a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey. Another common fear is the fear of rejection or judgment. This fear can be even more limiting than the fear of failure because it's rooted in our desire for acceptance. We worry about how others will perceive us if we try and don't succeed or if we go against the norm. But the truth is that people will always have opinions, and trying to please everyone is a losing game. Those who truly succeed learn to detach themselves from the opinions of others and focus on their own values and goals. They understand that the people who matter will support them, and those who don't weren't part of the journey anyway. Overcoming the fear of judgment means recognizing that no one else's opinion can define your worth or your potential. Hesitation often goes hand in hand with fear. When we're unsure, we hesitate, analyzing every possible outcome and waiting for the perfect moment to act. But perfection is an illusion. Waiting for everything to align perfectly is a form of procrastination that keeps us from moving forward. Instead of waiting for certainty, we need to learn to act despite uncertainty. This means accepting that we won't have all the answers, that the path may be messy, and that we might stumble along the way. But by taking action, we create clarity. Each step forward gives us more information, builds our confidence, and helps us refine our path. One effective way to overcome fear and hesitation is to break down big goals into smaller, manageable steps. Often we're afraid because the journey seems overwhelming, like a mountain that's impossible to climb. But when we take it step by step, the path becomes much clearer. By focusing on small, achievable actions, we build momentum and prove to ourselves that progress is possible. This approach helps us build confidence over time, making it easier to take on larger challenges as we go. Each small success chips away at fear, replacing it with a sense of capability and confidence. Another strategy is to reframe fear. Instead of seeing it as a barrier, we can see it as a guide. Fear often points us toward things that matter to us, our dreams, our passions, and our ambitions. If we feel afraid, it's a sign that we're on the edge of growth. When we recognize fear as a sign that we're pushing our boundaries, we can approach it with curiosity rather than dread. By asking ourselves, what's the worst that could happen, we often realize that the risks we're afraid of aren't as bad as they seem. This shift in perspective can help us move forward with courage and determination. Building a support system can also make a big difference. When we're afraid or hesitant, having people who encourage us and believe in us can be incredibly empowering. Surrounding ourselves with positive, supportive people reminds us that we're not alone in our journey. They can offer guidance, perspective, and sometimes even a gentle push when we're hesitating. A support system doesn't remove fear entirely, but it can help us feel more capable of facing it. Ultimately, overcoming fear and hesitation is about embracing action in the face of discomfort. It's about making a decision that our dreams and goals are worth the risk, worth the possibility of failure, and worth the effort required. The more we confront fear, the less power it has over us. Each time we act despite feeling afraid, we build resilience. We prove to ourselves that we are capable of handling whatever comes our way. So don't let fear and hesitation keep you from the life you deserve. Acknowledge them, understand them, and then choose to move forward anyway. Take the small steps, lean on your support system, and remember that growth lies just beyond your comfort zone. The journey may not be easy, but each step forward will bring you closer to the person you're meant to become. And in the end, you'll realize that fear was never as powerful as your desire to achieve greatness. Failure is a part of life that many of us are conditioned to avoid. We grow up hearing about success, dreaming about achievements, and striving for excellence. But in all this, we often forget that failure is an equally important, if not essential, part of the journey. While success may be the ultimate goal, failure is what shapes, refines, and strengthens us along the way. It's not a detour from the path to success, it's an essential part of it. To achieve anything meaningful, we must learn how to embrace failure, understand its lessons, and use it as a powerful tool for growth. First and foremost, failure teaches us humility. No matter how hard we work or how well prepared we are, there will be times when things don't go as planned. Failure reminds us that we are human, that we don't have all the answers, and that we're not invincible. It's a humbling experience, one that allows us to see our limitations and to respect the process of learning and growth. Without humility, we risk becoming complacent or even arrogant, thinking that we've reached the peak of our abilities. Failure knocks us back into reality, helping us understand that there is always more to learn, more room to improve, and new ways to grow. Another invaluable lesson failure teaches is resilience. Each time we fail and choose to get back up, we build strength. Resilience isn't just about enduring hardship, it's about developing the courage and determination to keep going, regardless of setbacks. When we encounter failure, it can be tempting to give up or think that the effort wasn't worth it. But each time we choose to push forward, we become a little stronger, a little more capable of handling whatever life throws our way. This resilience builds over time, forming a foundation that enables us to face bigger challenges with confidence. Failure, then, isn't an end but a step in developing mental toughness and fortitude. Failure also brings clarity. When we fail, we're forced to confront our weaknesses, blind spots, and areas where we need improvement. This clarity is priceless because it gives us a roadmap for growth. When everything goes well, we might not take the time to evaluate our actions or question our strategies. But failure forces us to stop, reflect, and analyze. It shows us what didn't work, helping us make better decisions in the future. It's a powerful mirror, one that reveals our true selves and exposes the areas we need to work on. This self-awareness is critical to long-term success because it helps us identify and overcome obstacles that may otherwise hold us back. Another lesson failure teaches us is adaptability. Success rarely follows a straight line, and the ability to adapt is crucial. Failure shows us that we might need to change our approach, rethink our strategy, or develop new skills. Adaptability means being open to change and willing to step out of our comfort zone to explore new possibilities. Each time we fail, we're given the chance to pivot, to try something different, and to find new solutions. This flexibility is essential for growth because it keeps us from becoming rigid in our thinking. By learning to adapt through failure, we become more creative problem solvers, able to approach challenges from multiple angles. Failure also helps to strengthen our motivation. When we experience setbacks, we're forced to ask ourselves if our goals are truly worth the struggle. This process can be painful, but it's necessary. If a goal isn't meaningful, failure will likely discourage us from pursuing it. But if our goal is truly important to us, failure becomes a source of motivation, pushing us to work even harder. It's a test of our commitment, a reminder of why we started in the first place. Those who succeed aren't necessarily those who have never failed, but rather those who are willing to keep going despite failure. When we learn to harness the motivation that comes from setbacks, we become unstoppable. Failure also teaches us empathy and compassion. When we struggle, we gain a deeper understanding of what it's like for others who face similar challenges. This empathy helps us connect with others, offering support and encouragement to those on similar paths. Failure makes us more human, more relatable, and more understanding. It removes the sense of isolation we sometimes feel in the pursuit of our goals. Instead of seeing others as competitors, we begin to see them as allies. The compassion we gain from our own setbacks helps us lift others up, creating a community of people who are willing to support each other in the face of adversity. In learning from failure, we also learn to appreciate success. When we work hard, face setbacks, and persevere, success takes on a new meaning. It's no longer just an accomplishment, it's the culmination of effort, resilience, and growth. Failure deepens our appreciation for what we achieve because we know what it took to get there. Success is sweetest when we've had to fight for it, when we've had to push past obstacles, and when we've grown stronger as a result. This appreciation keeps us grounded and grateful, motivating us to continue working hard and striving for even greater goals. So, instead of seeing failure as a roadblock, we need to see it as a stepping stone. Each failure is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become better. It's not about avoiding failure at all costs, but rather about embracing it and using it as a tool for self-improvement. Every setback brings a new lesson, a new strength, and a new perspective that will serve us on the journey ahead. Failure is a teacher, one that's sometimes harsh, but always valuable. The journey to success is filled with highs and lows, victories and defeats. By learning from failure, we prepare ourselves for the challenges we'll face, and we become more resilient, adaptable, and capable. When we stop fearing failure and start seeing it as an ally, we unlock our true potential. Each failure is a chapter in the story of our success, shaping us into the person we're meant to be. So don't fear failure, embrace it, learn from it, and let it be the foundation upon which you build your dreams. Dedication and sacrifice are two of the most powerful forces that drive success. While talent and opportunity play a role in achieving great things, they are not enough on their own. Dedication is the commitment to push forward despite obstacles, setbacks, or challenges, and sacrifice is the willingness to give up comfort, time, or other pursuits to reach a larger goal. Together, dedication and sacrifice build the foundation for any meaningful achievement. These qualities separate those who merely dream from those who actually accomplish their goals. Dedication is about consistency, a relentless pursuit of goals, even when it's tough. It's easy to be dedicated when things are going smoothly, but true dedication is measured in the challenging moments, those times when motivation fades and the goal seems far out of reach. Dedication requires discipline, the daily choice to prioritize the steps needed for progress, even when the results aren't immediately visible. This is where most people lose their way because dedication isn't always glamorous. It's waking up early to work when others are sleeping, staying late to practice, or studying when others are relaxing. Dedication means valuing the end goal so much that the daily efforts and sacrifices feel worth it, even if they're challenging. Sacrifice is equally essential. Achieving something significant often requires giving up certain comforts, activities, or even relationships that don't align with the pursuit of the goal. Sacrifice is often painful because it involves letting go of things we enjoy or find comforting. But sacrifice also brings focus. By eliminating distractions or unnecessary comforts, we create room for growth. Sacrifice can mean choosing work over leisure, putting in extra hours when it's tough, or even saying no to social events to make time for progress. Every person who has ever achieved something meaningful has made sacrifices along the way, whether it was time, sleep, financial resources, or personal comfort. Sacrifice fuels progress by keeping us aligned with our goals, reminding us that we're choosing the path that matters most. The journey of dedication and sacrifice can be lonely, as not everyone will understand why you're making certain choices. Friends and family might question your priorities or suggest you take it easier, and that can feel discouraging. But this is where dedication to your vision is crucial. When you're dedicated, you're not swayed by external opinions because you know the bigger picture. True dedication doesn't waver in the face of doubt or criticism, it remains steadfast, fueled by an inner purpose. This clarity of purpose not only strengthens commitment but also keeps you resilient when others don't understand or support your sacrifices. Dedication requires you to be your own source of motivation, to keep going even when external encouragement is lacking. There's also a mental transformation that happens when dedication and sacrifice become part of your journey. These qualities build resilience, a powerful mental toughness that makes you stronger over time. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, learn from failures, and keep pushing forward. Without dedication, setbacks can feel like insurmountable roadblocks, and without sacrifice, it's easy to settle for comfort over growth. But with these qualities, you build a mindset that sees challenges as part of the process rather than reasons to give up. Each sacrifice becomes a reminder of the investment you're making in your future, fueling your resilience and commitment even further. Dedication and sacrifice also require setting clear priorities. When you're dedicated to a goal, everything else has to take a back seat. This doesn't mean neglecting important relationships or responsibilities, but it does mean learning to say no to things that don't align with your vision. Prioritizing isn't always easy, especially when it involves difficult choices, but it's necessary. Dedication is about choosing the actions that move you forward, not just the ones that feel good in the moment. Sacrifice often means delaying gratification, focusing on the long-term benefit rather than short-term pleasure. This focus on priorities helps prevent burnout because each action feels meaningful and connected to a larger purpose. Sacrifice and dedication also shape character, building a sense of responsibility and accountability. When you make sacrifices, you're investing in yourself, proving that you're serious about your goals. This accountability keeps you on track because you know that each action and each choice has an impact. You're less likely to skip a practice session, miss a deadline, or take shortcuts when you've already put so much into the journey. This responsibility extends beyond just the goal at hand. It becomes part of who you are, affecting how you approach all aspects of life. When you're committed, the values of dedication and sacrifice become habits that influence everything from work to relationships to personal growth. The road to achieving a dream can feel isolating at times, but the rewards that dedication and sacrifice bring are profound. As you continue to invest time, energy, and focus, you'll see growth in ways you might not have expected. Dedication and sacrifice lead to mastery, not just in skill or knowledge, but in character. Over time, you'll find that you're not just reaching your goal, you're becoming a better, stronger, and more resilient person. The transformation that dedication and sacrifice bring is lasting. It builds habits and a mindset that stay with you even after you've achieved your initial goal. In the end, the sacrifices made and the dedication shown along the way make the accomplishment all the more meaningful. Success is much more fulfilling when you know you've earned it, that you've poured effort, time, and parts of yourself into making it happen. The rewards of dedication and sacrifice aren't just in the achievement of the goal, but in the sense of pride, confidence, and purpose that come from knowing you gave your best. This feeling of fulfillment can't be bought or faked. It comes from the deep satisfaction of knowing that you stayed committed when it mattered most. Dedication and sacrifice are challenging qualities to develop, but they are the foundation of any great success. When you're truly dedicated and willing to sacrifice, there's very little that can stop you. You'll face challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt, but you'll push through because your purpose is stronger than your obstacles. Every sacrifice, every moment of commitment brings you one step closer to realizing your dreams. And when you finally reach that goal, you'll know that every bit of effort was worth it, not just for the achievement itself, but for the person you became along the way. Believing in your potential is one of the most transformative steps you can take on the path to success. It's about having an unshakable faith in your ability to achieve your dreams, even when others doubt you or when obstacles arise. This belief isn't just a vague hope. It's a powerful conviction that fuels your actions, guides your decisions, and helps you overcome setbacks. Many people hold themselves back because they underestimate their capabilities, often allowing fear, doubt, or past experiences to cloud their vision. But when you believe in your potential, you unlock a sense of purpose and confidence that drives you to reach new heights, break through limitations, and turn aspirations into reality. Believing in your potential starts with understanding that growth and learning are possible at any stage in life. We often think that skills, intelligence, or talents are fixed qualities, but this belief is limiting. The truth is, people are capable of extraordinary growth and change when they're willing to put in the effort. This mindset shift is essential. It's about embracing the idea that you are not defined by your past, your failures, or even your current abilities. You can always improve, learn, and evolve. When you see yourself as capable of growth, you begin to view challenges as opportunities for learning, and this belief in potential becomes a source of strength that can carry you through any situation. One of the biggest barriers to believing in one's potential is fear of failure. Many people are so afraid of making mistakes or facing setbacks that they never try at all. However, failure is a natural part of any growth process, and those who succeed understand that it's not the end of the road but a stepping stone. Believing in your potential means knowing that mistakes and failures don't define you, they're simply feedback, showing you what doesn't work so you can find what does. Each setback becomes a lesson, each mistake an opportunity to improve. This resilience is rooted in a belief in one's ability to adapt, overcome, and ultimately succeed. Another crucial aspect of believing in your potential is surrounding yourself with positive influences. The people you spend time with can either uplift you or hold you back. When you believe in your potential, you seek out mentors, role models, and friends who support and encourage you, who see your capabilities even when you may not. These individuals act as mirrors, reflecting back to you the strengths, talents, and potential you might overlook in yourself. They offer guidance and inspiration, helping you to envision what's possible and to stay motivated, especially during times when you may be tempted to give up. Positive influences reinforce your belief in yourself and remind you that you are capable of more than you sometimes realize. Believing in your potential also means taking consistent, meaningful actions toward your goals. This isn't just a matter of positive thinking, it requires daily effort, planning, and persistence. When you believe in what you're capable of, you're willing to put in the work, even if progress is slow or difficult. This belief drives you to create a plan, set achievable goals, and take steps every day that bring you closer to those goals. Each action, no matter how small, is an affirmation of your potential. You're not just thinking about what you can achieve, you're proving it to yourself with every step you take, building both confidence and momentum over time. Finally, believing in your potential requires patience. Success doesn't happen overnight, and achieving your dreams may take years of hard work and dedication. Patience is crucial because it allows you to keep going, even when results aren't immediate. When you believe in your potential, you understand that time is an ally, not an enemy. You know that each step, each day, and each effort builds upon the last, creating a foundation for lasting success. This belief keeps you moving forward, allowing you to enjoy the journey rather than focusing solely on the destination. In the end, believing in your potential transforms how you approach life. It gives you the courage to try, the strength to persevere, and the confidence to pursue your dreams. This belief is a quiet, steady force that pushes you forward, no matter the obstacles. It's a choice you make daily, to see yourself not just as you are, but as what you can become. When you truly believe in your potential, you become unstoppable, capable of achieving things that once seemed impossible. Your dreams become your reality, not because of chance, but because you believed in your ability to make them happen.